One of my biggest regrets from when I first started DJing was not making sure that I kept my library organized. Now, DJ library organization is probably the biggest challenge that DJs face, not because it's the toughest thing in the world, but you have to stay consistent with it. So let me go over 5 tips to help you get your DJ library organized, and most importantly, how to keep it organized. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you come up with a playlist or crate system that works for you and not against you. And I will say that this is an ever evolving thing. It's not something that's set in stone once you come up with a system, and it's kind of fluid. It'll change over time depending on the kind of gigs you have or the kind of events that you play or places that you play. So for example, for me, the way I like to DJ and what makes sense for my head is using smart playlists or smart crates, right? Where I have these crates or playlists broken down by category by using special tags that I've explained in other videos that filter the songs into different categories and into different crates that make sense to me, and I know that the song's gonna be there if they fit that certain criteria. Now, what I added later on in combination with that is just other playlists for different venues that I've had to play that is just music that's gonna work in that venue, and not necessarily something I have to come up with a smart playlist for, but it's something that helps me out if I'm playing that venue again. I know that these songs work in that room, and I can go back and forth between my normal playlist that I play from and jump to this playlist that I know has songs for that venue that does work. Now, like I mentioned, this is kind of an ever evolving thing, and you might not come up with a system right away that works for you. So you might want to try a couple different ways. But if you pick a system, I would say maybe give it a month, give it 2 months to actually try out and make sure that it does work for you, it doesn't work for you. And if not, it's completely fine to scrap that, start over again, and figure out another way to come up with a playlist system that works better for the way that you DJ. Now, the next tip that I want to give is make sure that you fix all the tags for your music when you add the songs to your library. Now, besides adding the songs to your library, making sure all those tags are correct is how you're really going to get everything organized for your DJ library. And although it's super easy to like download a song even mid-gig and just throw it into a crate or a playlist and start playing it, it's so easy to forget where that is if you didn't change it right away, if you didn't fix all the stuff that you needed to fix. And it's so much easier if you do it as you're adding to your library. Now, me, myself, I'll spend a day or two a week looking for new music in batches, so maybe 10, 15 songs every time I sit down to look for new music. And as I add those 10 to 15 songs to my library, I make sure that all of those songs have their tags fixed, meaning artist, song title, genre, special tags that I might use for my smart crates, etc. Get all of that done as I'm adding it, because I know myself, along with many other DJs out there, if those things don't get fixed when I add it, they're probably never going to get fixed, or it's going to be a headache trying to find them deep in my library to fix them later. Now, speaking of adding songs to my library consistently, one tip that I like to use and one thing that I use a lot is the play count feature. So here in Serato, you have a column called plays, which is your play count. So I can go to, say, this playlist right here, and I can click on this and see how many times I've played these songs. And yeah, it's a lot. So what I like to do with this feature is every few months or so, maybe every quarter, every 3 months, I'll go ahead and grab all the songs I've added to my library and throw them in a crate, and then use that play count feature to see what songs I have been playing, but most importantly, what songs I haven't been playing. And all the songs with 0 plays or 1 or 2 plays that maybe might be working for the venues or the parties that I'm playing, I'll probably take them out of my DJ library, not necessarily delete them, but remove them from my DJ software just to kind of trim the fat of my library and make it a lot easier to navigate. Now, here's another tip. If you're concerned with hard drive space, what I like to do with those songs is put them all in a folder, or have those folders organized in a certain way, and drop those songs and those files to an external drive, so I have them on backup, and it's a lot easier to kind of find them, and I'll have a hard copy of it instead of having to go through different record pools or different Bandcamps, Patreons, etc. Having a hard copy, even if I don't need it right now, it's still good practice in my opinion to keep all of that stuff in reserve in a backup, in an external drive at home, and then I can grab it if I need it later on. And finally, and probably the most important tip I can say, is stay consistent with your organization. Make it a habit. You know, maybe once a week, once every other week, spend time organizing your library. You know, just double checking, making sure that the tags have been fixed, double checking to make sure that the kind of playlist system that you've developed is working for you. Maybe there's playlists that you made that you thought that were useful but didn't end up really being useful. Take those out of your DJ library. Just kind of ever evolving and working on it consistently is the best way and the easiest way in the long run to make sure that you have an organized DJ library. Well, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. And of course, if you're looking for more DJ related content, click on one of the videos right here, and I'll catch you in the next one.